So a few days ago, I had Corrine come in and she had browned out hair. And so today I'm going to be taking you through the steps that it took to get her to a vibrant red. It was definitely a color correction, and I'm going to be breaking down each one of the steps and why I chose what I chose. So I'm Maureen Moody, and I'm the Curious Stylist, and I want to build your confidence in your career through education and science. So if that sounds like fun, stick around.
Okay, so let's get into this. This is what it looked like on my iPhone, and that's my camera. So the lighting's a little different. I did take this with a ring light it was dark in that back room. So I'm just taking off all her excess hair before I start. I will be cutting her hair again. Using Blondme lightener with 10 volume and some shampoo. That is called a soap cap. And I'm using 10 volume because I really just want it to move it. Now I did pre-wet her hair. I want this to work gently and slowly. And I really do like using Blondme as a way to do the soap cap. I mean, you can use other things like color erase, but I just find that I have a lot more control and a lot more success when I just do a soap cap. When we're doing a soap cap, it is 1 part lightener, 1 part shampoo, and 1 part developer. And I used 10 volume to do this particular soap cap. Now, I did not apply that to her regrowth. Her regrowth is virgin. It does not need the soap cap on it, and I really didn't want that being affected by the soap cap. Now, some people will use color erase or some sort of color remover, but a lot of times risers are basically using the same science to remove the color that a soap cap would. That is why I stick with the soap cap, because I get more consistent results with it. In this picture, you're going to see the processed results. This is where I lifted her to. Talk about what happens when your hair browns out. The 6 are you're going to have around 50% of the red reflect, and then the other 50% will be brown. Now your hair is naturally brown, so it's going to contribute to that color as well. But each time that you color your hair and you apply that other 50% of the brown, it's going to brown out your ends. And it's just going to push that red reflect deeper and deeper in. And you will lose your red to the brown, which will then take over. I'm going to be using the L- series, and it is a high intensity pigment series. It is meant to go on color treated or virgin hair, and you can mix it with either 30 or 40 volume. And I chose this because I really wanted a high impact, and I did put a little bit of red violet. There is an 8-8 and an 8-9. This is so we can get a cool red finish. So now I am doing a technique called color blocking. And this technique is a way to give your hair a strong impact of color. And I am working in triangles. Your eye is more drawn to the strength of the hair with triangles. And so you can see I've placed that on the head, and it's directed pointing down and towards the hairline, and that's so that you can see that strong presentation color. I'm also, when I'm applying the color, you can see I'm slipping it farther and further down this section of hair, and this is so that I can get a strong presentation towards the ends. I'm using my self-weaving comb and my Ashley Norman board. I have reviewed these products on my channel, and if you are interested in how I feel about them, I'll be leaving links in this video above. Parts our hair from right to the left-hand side. So on her right-hand side, I made the triangle a little bit smaller, and that's a good placement for the weaker side.
Can you do me a favor? If you are finding value in this content, please smash the like button and subscribe. I make weekly videos. And if this is on IGTV, please smash the heart button.
Talk to you about what I used on our regrowth. I have the formula above here. Now the 6-1 is a cendre or an ash, and the 6-8-8 is a RR. Now why would I mix an ash with a red with 20 volume? Because if I were to just put the 6-8-8 on her regrowth, it would really be so bright, she would have hot roots. And I didn't want her to have hot roots. So my one trick is to add a cendre or a neutral, but I have better results with the cendre or the ash. I want to punch a little bit more red into her ends. And since her ends are not going to accept the red quite as nicely as her regrowth, I'm putting 1/4 of the formula with a red intensifier. And that's that 088 I'm just showing you right there. So that's 1/4 of the formula. I used 10 grams of that, and I used 30 grams of the 6RR, and I'm using 20 volume. Now the 20 volume is going to give me a lot of red reflect in the hair. It's going to make it really bright and bold. And so when you have her hair and it is just ready to get that color on there because we pulled out all that browned out shade that she had before, it just takes so beautifully. When you are able to balance out your reds by knowing what you're working with, healthy hair at the regrowth is going to accept that red a lot easier than the mid-lengths and the ends. The mid-lengths and the ends always you need to go more with the red on the ends and the mid-lengths, and on the regrowth, you can always center that with an ash or a neutral. When she comes back in to get refreshed in a few weeks, I'm going to look at how her hair is wearing and how much the red has faded. If the hair hasn't faded a whole lot, I'm really going to be cautious with how I refresh her ends. I have to make sure that I don't brown them out again. So I am not going to be putting a super strong red on her. I might shear my red out so that I don't brown out her ends again. And we'll get into that more in a later video. What we did here. We soap capped her and we lifted her to a 7.5. And when that was done, we washed her hair off, and we were able to blow dry. Now, I did apply the color to dry hair so that the color would absorb more readily. I used the L- series to get her a more intensive red in certain spots, and I did color blocking. And then we retouched with 688 and 6-1. And that was to center the roots so that you didn't get hot roots. And on the ends, we wanted them nice and bright, so we did 1/4 of an RR concentrate, which is the 88, and then we used 3/4 of 6RR. So she would be a nice, vibrant, bright red. And I really hope that you like the way that this came out. I can't wait for you to see the pictures. I really had a lot of fun doing this color correction. Here's the before. And here is her after. And look at how great it is. It's so bright. I'm so excited about how it came out. It was just a lot of fun, like I said before, to do. I'm Maureen Moody. I'm the Curious Stylist, and I want to build confidence in your career through education and science.